Yes. After knowing about the pumping organ, we will understand few words about circulatory system. Human circulatory system is said to be closed type, complete, double circulatory system. Human circulatory system is said to be closed type, complete, double circulatory system. Let us understand why. So we need to split these three words and then understand the meaning of them. Then it would be easy for us to understand the concept. That is closed type, complete and double circulatory system. Right. So why is our circulatory system called as the closed type of circulatory system? So in our body, the blood is randomly flowing here and there. That is, it is flowing in a specific channels called as the blood vessels, and except blood vessels, the blood is not found flowing here and there in the body. So all the organs are systematically connected with the blood vessels. They are not bathed into the blood. They are not dipped into the blood. So the heart, which is a pumping organ, is not dipped completely into the blood, but the whatever amount of the blood the heart requires is also provided by a specific type of arteries which are carrying oxygenated blood from heart to the heart, from the heart to the heart. That means what? So for every organ they are having arteries and veins, but nowhere the organ is completely dipped into the blood, even though heart. So heart is a pumping organ, but it also requires some amount, it also requires blood for carrying out the process of respiration. That is, it is also carrying the oxygen, right? So for heart also they are having their own specific artery and veins. So why is this called as closed type of circulatory system? The answer is that the blood flows through specific channels called as the arteries and the veins. So in this chart, visible that the blood is flowing through a specific channels. So in this chart, the blue color channel is representing the vein, and the red color channel is indicating the artery. It is indicating artery. The blue one is indicating the vein. So blood is not randomly flowing throughout the body, but it is flowing in a specific channel. Therefore, it is called as closed type of circulatory system. Then what about complete? What do you mean by complete double circulatory system? Let us understand about the complete first, then we will discuss about the double circulatory system. So why is it called complete type of circulatory system? Because here in our body there is nowhere mixing up of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. That is, a heart is organ for pumping, I have said, and it is going to pump oxygenated as well as deoxygenated blood. So in spite of being so small, so there the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood never mixes. That means the oxygenated blood from the left region of the heart is going to be circulated to various parts of the body. Then from various parts of the body, the deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich blood is being brought to the right region of the heart. So in spite it's of small size, so here nowhere mixing up of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood takes place. So therefore we are called as complete type of circulatory system. Closed one you already know, that is they are flowing through specific specific channels like blood vessels, arteries and veins. So it is called as closed type. Then it is complete. Why is it called complete? Because the here oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are not mixing. Then why is it called as double circulatory system? It is called as double circulatory system because blood is flowing through heart twice. Blood is flowing through heart twice. That is, from heart to various parts of the body, and various parts of the body to heart makes one cycle. That is, it is the blood is flowing once, complete circulation is taking place. It is from heart to various parts of the body and various parts of the body back to heart, one cycle. Then for oxygenation, from heart to lungs and from lungs back to the heart makes the second cycle, So it is therefore called as double circulatory system. So the system where the blood is flowing from parts of the body and various parts of the body once again back to heart is called as systemic circulation, is called as systemic. It is heart. I am just going to draw this and show it to you. That is see, in this chart, flow chart, you find that the blood from heart is being circulated or it is being sent to various parts of the body. It is oxygenated blood. O2 blood is being supplied to various parts of the body, and from various parts of the body the CO2 rich blood is coming back to heart. This makes one cycle. So from heart to various parts of the body, various parts of the body back to heart makes systemic circulation. And the next one is, now the heart is filled with deoxygenated blood which it received from various parts of the body. So heart is organ for pumping. I stress more upon this. Heart is the organ only meant for pumping, no other function rather than pumping. So heart is going to receive the deoxygenated blood, and that deoxygenated blood is oxygenated, and that process of oxygenation is carried out by lungs. So therefore from heart the blood is being carried to lungs for oxygenation, and once oxygenation process takes place, that oxygenated blood from lungs is coming back to the heart. So the movement of blood, deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs and oxygenation taking place over there in the lungs, then oxygenated blood from lungs come back to heart. So this is known as pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation, making the second cycle. First cycle, heart to various parts of the body, various parts of the body to heart. Once the blood is flowing through heart, double circulatory system. Closed type because blood is flowing to specific channels like arteries, veins and capillaries. Complete because no mixing up of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Third one is double because blood is flowing through heart twice, that is once systemic circulation takes place, next pulmonary circulation takes place, systemic circulation, then pulmonary circulation. You need not mention about all these things. You just need to write down that double circulatory system mean the blood is flowing through heart twice, that is pulmonary and systemic circulation. In the bracket you can mention, that's enough. This is about human circulatory system, which is a closed type complete double circulatory system. So now we'll deal with the next part, that is the medium for transportation or medium for circulation, and that is the blood. So in your 9th standard you have already studied about the tissues, where we have studied about the fluid connective tissue. Why is it called as fluid connective tissue? It is made up of cells, of course, that is making a tissue. Then connective tissue they have mentioned, that means it is going to connect various parts of the bodies together. Then as it is fluid in nature, therefore it is called as fluid connective tissue. So blood is the important fluid connective tissue. Now let us focus on the various components of the blood. Various components of the blood. Starting with the components of the blood. The blood has two components. Mainly the blood has two components. The solid component called as the corpuscles or cellular components. Corpuscles are the cellular components. Then we are having a fluid component or a liquid component called as the plasma. Solid component and the liquid component. So what is this liquid? So liquid component is mainly, that is plasma, is mainly constituted or it is mainly made up of water, right? Maximum amount of water, and in that we are having dissolved salts, proteins sometimes, enzymes, drugs, there is some medicines if you intake medicines regularly. Then we also have hormones. So plasma consists mainly of water and all these dissolved components like dissolved salts, it may be proteins, enzyme, drugs, hormones, or any other material which is required. Even the carbon dioxide will be in a dissolved state, that is CO2 is also available in the plasma, because the carbon has more tendency towards the water, or the water is easily dissolving the carbon dioxide when compared to oxygen. It dissolves more carbon dioxide compared to the oxygen. So these are all the components of the plasma, and apart from this it also comes various other various other components which are also having role in body's defense mechanism. In all bodies defense mechanism, that is natural immunity system, that is a natural immune system of our body. Then coming to the important part, that is cellular components. So the various cellular components of the blood are, the first and foremost one is RBC, then second comes WBC, and the third one is platelets. RBCs, as they are red in color, they are called as erythrocytes. As they are colorless in nature, they are called as leukocytes, and platelets are called as thrombocytes. Erythrocytes, leukocytes, and thrombocytes. We do not have space, so I'm just wiping it out. Then the RBCs, WBCs, platelets. No further classification of RBCs and platelets, but we are having further components of WBC. It is granulocytes and granulocytes. So under granulocytes you are having the monocytes and lymphocytes. Then under granulocytes we are having three, that is eosinophils, eosinophils, basophils, then neutrophils. So these are the components of WBC. The WBC component of the cellular components of the blood has role in body's defense mechanism. The granulocytes and agranulocytes both together have role in body's immune system. Natural body's immune system. It is lymphocytes and all those things you might be knowing about their role in disease management or the management of some foreign invaders into our body. It is in phagocytosis, it may be the role of WBCs engulfing the foreign body materials and so on. So these are the specific components of the WBC, that is granulocytes. Under granulocytes we are having eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils with their own specific function, and we are having monocytes and lymphocytes, and they are also having their own specific function. So RBC has 120 days of lifespan, so it is not so exact. 1 to 2 days, it is from 1 week. So 1 week will be the lifespan of the WBCs. Then platelets, it is hardly 5 to 6 days. Not even 6 days, I think it is 5 to 6 days or 2 to 3 days, it may be the lifespan of the platelets. So the RBC, WBC and platelets, so these are the three different components of the blood. So both RBC, WBC are living, whereas the platelet is not a living component. It is actually a non-living component. We don't call it as a dead component, it is called as a non-living component. So RBC carrying oxygen, it is the main function. WBC body's defense mechanism. Platelets clotting in specific condition like injuries. So it is having role in the clotting. It is having the role in clotting up of the blood. So this is about the RBC, WBC and platelets. So it is a disc shape. It does not have any particular nucleus. So it is a colorless, or it is lacking hemoglobin. So therefore it is colorless in nature. It is called as leukocytes. Erythrocytes. Erythros means red. Erythrocytes, leukocytes, thrombocytes. So thrombin and all those components are there. So it is called as the thrombocytes, having role in this one. What is, they create some mesh, and because of the mesh, so what is happening is the blood is being clotted wherever there is injury, external injury in the body. So this is about the components of the blood, that is under the corpuscular components, these three. Then plasma, about the plasma I already said you. So this is about the components of the blood. Now switching on to the human circulatory system. Now let us understand the difference between the artery and vein, and once we finish the difference between artery and vein, we will just jump on with the human circulatory system. And in human circulatory system we are going to study about the structure of the heart. So structure of the heart we are going to study. Then after studying the structure of the heart, we are also going to study about the mechanism of pumping blood, So now about the differences between artery and vein. Differences between artery and vein. Differences between artery and vein. So, before telling you about the differences between artery and vein, we will just show you the picture of the arteries and vein, that is the model actually of circulatory system. So where it is very visible that a prominent tube like structure or vessel like structure which is blue in color, which is indicating the vein, and the red part is the red one is the artery. So throughout the body there is equal and systematic distribution of arteries and vein. It is not that one part is completely filled with one part is completely we are having the artery and the other part we are having vein. No. So people might confuse that, oh, the left part of the body is filled with arteries only and the right part is with vein. No, it is not right. So the arteries are systematically distributed in both the sides of the body, that is the right side and the left side of the body. That is dorsoventrally they are visible. They are not visible, they are distributed. I'm sorry. So coming to the differences between artery and vein. So before starting with the differences between artery and vein, so we need to understand about two more specific types of blood vessels. And why am I saying specific is, I will just tell you the reason. That is pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. So pulmonary refers to lungs. So the artery which is going to lungs from heart is called as pulmonary artery. The vein which is coming from lungs to heart is called as pulmonary vein. So forget about pulmonary and pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. We will just focus on artery vein. Artery carries oxygenated blood, vein carries deoxygenated blood, but in heart the arteries and vein work in an opposite manner. They work in an opposite manner. That is, pulmonary artery is going to carry deoxygenated from heart to lungs. Which is that one? Pulmonary artery. Artery must carry oxygenated, but it is carrying oxygenated blood throughout the body. But in heart it is working in opposite way. It is carrying deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs for oxygenation. Then the next one is pulmonary vein. So what is this pulmonary vein? Vein always means carrying deoxygenated blood from various parts of the body to heart, right? But in heart what is happening? The pulmonary vein is bringing the oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart. This is working in an opposite manner. So these are the two specific types of arteries and veins which are working exactly opposite to their partners in the which are running throughout in the body. Right? This is about the pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Now let us focus on the differences between artery and vein. So the first and foremost difference between artery and vein is that arteries carry blood away from heart. This is the first difference. Artery carries blood away from the heart. That is, it is carrying oxygenated blood away from the heart. Vein, it carries blood, that is deoxygenated blood, towards heart. This is the first difference, that is carrying blood away from the heart, artery, carrying towards the heart, vein. First difference. Second difference, carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Arteries. Second difference, carries deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Why these exceptions? I have just said you why they are exceptional. Third difference, blood flows with the pressure. Blood flows with the pressure. So next, in the vein, blood flows with less pressure. Next, it has narrow lumen. So in veins, they have broader lumen. So what do you mean by lumen? The internal surface of the blood vessels. Suppose this is the blood vessel, right? So this region is called as lumen. So the lumen size is far less, that is, it is very narrow, whereas in veins the lumens are broader. Then arteries are elastic in nature, veins are non-elastic. Hope you understand the meaning of the word elastic and non-elastic. Then last difference is the blood within the artery is flowing with jerks, some kind of restrictions. The blood is flowing through jerks, and in the vein the blood flows continuously. Right. So this is the difference between the artery and vein. Where artery is going to carry oxygenated blood. The artery is going to carry heart, and vein is going to carry blood towards the heart. Second difference, arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Third difference, blood flows with high pressure in artery because heart is being continuously pumping. When it is pumping, it creates pressure, of course. Then blood flows with less pressure in the veins. After that, the artery has a narrow lumen. Because of its narrow lumen, the blood is also maintaining its pressure. Vein does not have that much of lumen, that is they're having a broader lumen, whereas artery have narrow lumen. The next one is arteries are elastic in nature, veins are non-elastic in nature. So arteries flow, in arteries the blood flows with jerks, whereas in veins the blood is not flowing through any jerks. So this is the difference between arteries and veins. In the next coming class, we shall discuss about the structure of human heart. Thank you.